Right. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Card Show. That's Smile, and you always had me then. I am joined by one of the first guests, and this is how crazy. It's been over a year since you've been on your own. Obviously, you did make a little bonus appearance on the round table with your great insights to the hobby, and now that you're on again, solo dolo. But yeah, the first guest I ever had on is just in Scotland Card Show a year ago, getting battered Mars bars, hunting them down. So I am glad to have you on. It's the main man. Also, Mr. 5K subs on YouTube, which is a massive achievement. And also, if you don't know, get to know. I press mute. There's a mute button right. I press mute. It's very sensitive, so I don't know how much that you've got, but yeah, he's absolutely smashing it on TikTok with short form content about the hobby. So make sure you follow him there. It is none other than Sports Cards UK. Dan.
Thank you very much for having me, mate. Yeah, no, I actually remember our weekend in Edinburgh, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was good fun.
Mate, one of the best, right? One of the best shows, man.
Broke our battered Mars bar cherries. Did you already have one, or had you already had one?
No.
No, we both hadn't. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
hunting them down. That's what we should have recorded more of the hunt because we were hunting them down for so long.
Yeah. And we ended up going all the way to the top of the high street or something. We ended up walking around for about half an hour.
Some bougie. We thought it'd be like a chip shop. Oh yeah, battered Mars bar, we're in a chip shop, but no, like a bougie place of just pancakes. It's like pancake batter makes
it was like
much
a creams
sense.
type place, wasn't it? But a bit smaller.
Yeah.
And we put 3 on Google Maps and went to all 3, and they all closed down. There was like letters in the loads of letters stacked up inside the door, and scratched off logos and stuff on the windows.
So rocked up to train that late because we were hunting down battered Mars bars, man. But what a time that was!
Yeah,
man.
we were late. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you came late on the Friday night because if you've played in a taxi, me and BP.
Yeah.
Up to like
I
half
got
1, 2 in the morning. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I think I got a late flight, and then it was just trying to get I got off the bus too early. The bus was supposed to take me into Edinburgh High Street, well, sort of near the High Street. We're in the Holiday Inn, which is that was pretty close to the venue. Actually, it was definitely walking distance. But I got off the bus too early. I was kind of panicking that I would go too far, and I ended up getting off too early. Then I ended up not being able to find an Uber for. I think it took me 20 minutes to find an Uber. Eventually got one, and by the time I got to you guys, it was about 1:30 in the morning or something, and then you stayed up because we were sharing a room.
Yeah, look at BP. Yeah, listen, I had BP to keep me company. I think I said I'd gone Nando's. We went Nando's, didn't we, next night? On the
you scoped it out before we went. Had nice views. It was like a proper date.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful, mate. It's beautiful, like beautiful location. Was it Leaf waterfront? It was beautiful little spot, and then nice hotel, great company having you there. You know, it was good, and it was like a little digress after the show because the show was really good, and we shot a lot of content, and then obviously the Sunday as well. But yeah, man, it was quality. It was quality.
I need to get up to the next one. I couldn't believe the scale that Jordan had. Like in terms of the scale up from the show when we went to the most recent one, I was like, whoa! Like he scaled up, like he tripled the size and filled it out, which is like a testament to him. Fair play.
You should have been at the first one in Glasgow. The first one was like.
I remember seeing the pictures. It was really narrow, wasn't it?
Exactly, like such a small venue.
High ceilings, but it was like a church or something, wasn't it? It looked like a church. I don't think it was.
Again, yeah, that's what. No, it was like it's like I think it's like a little food hall sort of thing. It had like these bench on the wall, that pull down, and his little thing there. But I think obviously he's done it. It's the first one, test the waters. And when I went there and I saw the queue outside and I saw it throughout the day, I was like, Scotland showed up. Like Scotland's serious. Like they have people that are collectors or investors, and they just show up. And I was like, wow. So the second one was not as much a surprise to me that it was so big and 2-dayer. It was more of a surprise he did this big one as a 1-dayer, but now I know he's gone back to a 2-dayer because I think he's definitely, he's the guy that people love in the hobby. I think a lot of people love dealing with him, industries in the hobby. And yeah, as you can see, man, he's just going from strength to strength and growth to growth. So yeah, it's shout out to him.
Yeah, he works hard. I mean, but he was we went to Germany together, well, not together,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I met him, and I think was it his father-in-law he was with, um, and we were in Frankfurt, and he was doing flyers in Frankfurt. Like, you've got, do you know what I mean? You've got to rate it. He was giving out flyers in Frankfurt. He was like, "Come
Mate,
to Scotland, like it's gonna be brilliant. Like we're coming here, you've got to come over there." So yeah,
tell
fair
you,
play.
man.
He's a hard worker. He does work hard, Jamie. He's a good lad. Jordan, sorry.
Serious. Jordan, yeah, Jordan. Yeah. So anyway, enough of our memories down memory lane there, of our great
Yeah,
shows
my bad.
together. No, listen, I took us down that beautiful path because I love reminiscing with you. We have some great
Oh
memories
yeah,
that are
always.
all on our YouTube, so go and check out. Make sure you head over to Sports Guard UK and make sure you go on my channel and check those videos out of our funny times that we had. But I want to talk to you about obviously this year you've had, because we're September now. You've had a year and how it's sort of changed for yourself from last year, where people have probably seen a lot more YouTube videos from you, from shows and what you've been buying and grading to this year, how you sort of changed. So fill us in, my friend.
I think that, yeah, if you look at, I would say it's probably been a little bit of a quieter year from me. I would say, especially on the YouTube standpoint. I think there has been maybe some leveling up in terms of the, if I'm being kind to myself, about some of the content in terms of the quality of the videos and some of the editing, and kind of spending a bit more money on music and software and things like that. It has made me a little bit more of a, I've always been a little bit of a perfectionist, and I think I definitely have moved away from the videos where I would put out once a week, Mail Monday type things, where I'm now kind of drifting more towards the content that I like to watch, which unfortunately is expensive, like high end content to make, which is people like Jeff Wilson. I think people maybe don't. People might say that they're not fans of Jeff Wilson, or some of the stuff that he does is maybe too high end. But I feel like you cannot deny the man makes good content. If you deny him anything, you cannot deny him the fact that his
Very polished.
quality of content is
Very
like a
polished.
TV show. It's unbelievable.
Serious.
And you could probably say that about Card Collector too, but yeah, I mean, Jeff at both of those at card shows are just, I mean, when Card Collector 2 actually came to London, to see his cameraman with the size of the camera that he had, and we're walking around with iPhones, was like, whoa, like this is the levels.
Yeah, don't diss iPhones.
And sometimes you can't compare, like, comparison is the thief of joy, people say, but if you if you try and level things up, then obviously you start to become a bit of a perfectionist. And if you enjoy a video that you put out, then you want to kind of do more of those. So I'm kind of sticking more towards card show only content kind of thing. But I maybe haven't visited as many card shows as I would have liked this year. But watch this space. I've been saying it for ages, but I've been trying to save for a mortgage, lads. And I live in the south of England, and it's bloody expensive. And I'm trying to move out on my own. So less cards and more adult stuff. Not adult stuff. That sounds big boy stuff. Adult stuff sounds weird. There's not adult stuff coming from me, by the way. There'll be no. There'll be
You
no
need that money.
content.
OnlyFans coming soon. You need that money,
No,
man. You got to pay that mortgage.
definitely not. No, definitely not. But yeah, so it has been a little bit of a quieter year. However, I do feel. We talked a little bit before the pod started, but I feel very positive. I feel very excited about what's to come from sports cards and the hobby, and Topps and Panini, and mainly Topps, and the marketing around the products and new people coming into the hobby. It's exciting me a lot, and it's driving me, and I'm starting to maybe kind of think more about how can I not go full time, but almost how can I go full time, but also, is there any more I can do, and what can I do to bring more people in? Topps are doing well to bring more people in, but how can I bring more people in? So TikTok, I think, is going to be quite a big focus for. It has been quite a big focus of the last, maybe not all year, but definitely the last 3 months. And I'm going to maybe try and start doing some lives and stuff on TikTok very, very soon. So watch this space in the shorts format. What does annoy me about TikTok a little bit actually is if you're in the creator program, you have to do more than 1 minute long videos, which is fine, but they then won't let you post the videos anywhere else, which is utterly infuriating at times. So they'll want you to make content that's exclusive to TikTok. So it's very, very time consuming, I will say, trying to put out a video a day whilst having a full-time job. You're kind of waking up in the morning, you're filming a quick video before you start work. Then you go on your lunch, you're making your lunch, and then you're trying to cut the video, and then you're putting it out after you finish work or putting it out on your lunch. And yeah, it's like I feel like I don't stop, even though I'm not putting YouTube content out. So it's just balancing it all. And I think if I plan well, I think 2025 would be pretty good. And actually, it does feel like there's always been a bit of a summer break, I think, with card shows. So although it doesn't feel like I've been putting out a hell of a lot recently, which is probably true, and September is going to be probably a quiet month for me on the long form side. From end of September onwards, there's probably like 5 or 6 card shows I'm going to toward before the end of the year. So yeah, I mean, there should be at least a card show video a month from September. So, but yeah, trying to keep it coming. And obviously I missed you coming down south sometimes. So, you know, but we talked about potentially there's now so many card shops in the UK. The prospect of doing card shop content is really, really exciting. I really like one of my favorite videos to make was actually one of my favorite, is Kaboom. Just anything with Kaboom, I love. Like the trade night days, although sometimes I don't always get the best content, and so I'm talking about gachapon machines and weird, like the strangest things. I enjoy those days so much, and when I am on camera, I feel like you probably do see some laughs and enjoyment because I'm having such a good time at those kind of more relaxed trade night type scenarios. Sometimes the shows can be like super intense and super overwhelming, that trade nights are just like, I think, are a really good environment for me to relax. I do sometimes have to really kind of give myself a click around the ear and go, Dan, you've got to like take the camera out and kind of do something. You can't just sit here and say you're going to do a video and then, you know, say here's a video I did with Jake, and then you realize you've got 2 minutes of a trade that we've done and then nothing else, or me eating pandan cake in Chinatown is half of the video. But you know, and I actually was speaking to Sully. I messaged Sully. I know a few people will know Dan. He was on JW7's podcast recently, the Vintage Podcast. Sorry to shout other podcasts out, by the way. That's competitive.
No, it's not. I've
shouting out on your. Oh, okay, all right, fine.
Yeah, no, shout out. I mean, I think they're doing great work. It's good to see Sully. I think he's got such a wealth of knowledge. Like, actually, conveying it to the people, because I've been saying it for ages, and he started his YouTube channel. Like, please, I know you're worried about being consistent. Just get it out there. So just get it out there, because you know so much about his vintage stuff, and you have such a good collection. Just get it out there, let people know. So yeah, shout them out.
Start YouTube now. Serious. This is your announcement. But yeah, no, he's a lovely guy, and I had a chat with him recently, and he was like, would you think about doing more lifestyle stuff? So that's maybe I kind of need to plan it out a bit, because I don't want to lose people, but it's a good way of maybe getting more viewers in. And I've noticed a lot of people do that on TikTok, but I'm not really that good at it. It's incorporating football, like the transfer window, maybe something a bit about your team, fashion, cards, and kind of just a collective of cards, and then the lifestyle around cards and things like that. It's probably a direction I would quite like to move in. I know I actually said the first time I was on this podcast, I was talking about Justin Gamble, and I think the way he does it, I mean, there's no way I'm flying around New York and Chicago, and like, don't get me wrong, he's backed himself. He's a successful man, but so he can afford to do that. Fair play to him. He's doing very, very well. But I that is the maximum, and I wouldn't be able to get there. But he is the way he kind of structures his life around cards. I do think that's a really, really good way of kind of getting people in and making people care a bit more about the content creator is letting the audience in a little bit more, and just kind of saying, this is who I am, this is why you should subscribe to me, here's a little bit about myself, rather than just it all being about the cards. But
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
100%.
it's just how to structure that and how to deliver that in a way that I want to do it. And I think a lot of it's been a kind of a lot of planning, and you know, I just want I've been not quite sure where I want to be in the space. No, I want to be in it, but I'm just trying to kind of think how best can I where do I want to sit? What do I want to do? Things like that. So this year's kind of maybe been a bit slower than previous years, but even like, you know, a big thing for me actually was, like I said, the MLB London game. Actually meeting up with a couple of the card lads before the game, I thought that was really good. And I've said to a couple of people actually recently that we should probably be doing more, not with my camera out, don't get me wrong, but we should be doing more social things away from cards, but with card people.
Yeah.
We maybe miss that a bit, where we're not, probably someone will end up bringing cards, and then we'll all go, oh, why didn't I bring my cards? But if we don't make it about cards, or if it's just like a few drinks and it's not an official trade night, but people might bring some cards or boxes or whatever, yeah, I think more of that would be really, really good. Sorry,
Yeah.
this has been the biggest rambles for like such a short question, but yeah, sorry, it was
Hey,
too
listen,
open ended for me, mate. I'm too
that's what we
quick to
love.
ramble.
Yeah, that's
You've
what
got
we
to
love.
ask me closed questions, because otherwise I just go off on one, or you just cut me off and go, Dan, shut up, mate.
No, listen, I won't get you on the pod to cut you off. I get you on the pod so you can talk and let people know, because again, people buy into you, and it's kind of what you're saying then. Like people, you know, you may not notice it, but people are choosing to spend their time watching your content. They're investing in you as a person. So of course, we want to know more about what you're doing. I remember you doing it where you were sharing your music plays, well, like, oh, this is the music linked to this, you know, this week sort of thing, and people love that sort of stuff, because it builds that connection with you, you know, through the screen. And when they see you, it shows they're more confident and comfortable to talk to you. Like, oh, watch this video, and I actually listen to that music as well, and I actually own them trainers you got too, and this sort of stuff. So yeah, I think you should definitely do it, and don't worry too much, don't overthink it. Just do it naturally, and the same way you did content, like just do it and then start perfecting it, as you want to say. From there, you know, sort of change, you know, do it that way. But
yeah, and I think that, especially as a content creator, you'll do things that you think is great at the time. I always go back to that quote that John Kavanagh said, where he says, "You don't win, you win or you learn." And I feel like as long as you don't look at things as like I shouldn't have done that, or you can't worry about don't like cry over spilled milk. Like there's no point going, oh, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have released that video 2 years ago. Like it shows progression, it shows how hard or how far you've come, it's your journey. And sometimes you just do things, and if it's a good idea at the time, and then you kind of go, do you know what, actually that wasn't it, then you've learned from it and you won't do it again, so you're only going to get better. But I think, like you say, I think experimenting with different things, and like trying to just throw a couple of music things that I'm listening to. I've got a strange like playlist and taste in music. Like it's my
I loved it
taste
though,
in
because
music is wild as well, because I'll throw some old school.
I have
tunes
too.
in.
I dig up my vinyl now and show you. So when I saw you had like,
I know
you went,
you're a music
was
guy.
it Massive? Yeah, was it? Yeah, I think you went from like Massive Attack to like Cass is Dead, and then someone else like, let's just rob my plate. I was like looking out like, I was like, Alexa, is it my playlist? I was like,
I listen to like
Cass is
Discover
Dead,
Weekly on Spotify, so I love like discovering new music. But if I hear someone that like says they're really into kind of a music, you know, certain song or artist and stuff, I'll always give it a listen. So yeah, I especially love discovering new music and things like that. I don't want to get into vinyls though. I feel like that's going to be like
music sounds better.
Sports cards are an expensive hobby, as much as enough as it is. I can't, the amount of songs and albums and stuff that I would want to buy, vinyl would just kill me.
But what I would say to that one though, like maybe it's just me, but I always had that obsession with older music on vinyl, like the way it was, because in them days every song has to be good because you couldn't skip. So if they knew that they had to put a record out, every song had to be good. So you just put on a vinyl. Exactly. So then you go back and you find these first pressings of like Marvin Gaye, the Bill Withers, and just hear the voice, and oh mate, it's you just boom. We've been getting quite well. I've been on it for a decade or so now. But Nils Fram, I've been listening to a lot more of him again. Sort of the mindset. But yeah, man, like it's just just orchestral music. Hans Zimmer, another one, sort of soundtrack music. But yeah, there's so much stuff you listen to on vinyl. It just sounds, I don't know, it just takes you somewhere.
Yeah, I like a lot of jazz, and I feel like jazz would sound just the
Coltrane,
scratch of the vinyl before a bit of anything.
the crackle.
It was just
Yeah, the
so
crackle.
good.
Oof,
I actually own 4 vinyls, and I don't own a vinyl player, so I literally have nothing to play them on.
Getting graded.
But they're well, do you know, I don't think I can, because I'm sure I'm allowed to own them. Maybe I'm not, but they're bootlegs, so they're not. I think I'm allowed to own them. I'm not allowed to. It's like a funny thing, like with steroids, isn't it? Where you're allowed to have them, but you're not allowed to sell them. Is that the rule?
Steroids.
That's the rule, though, isn't it? Like in the UK, it's like kind of like a grey area where like you can have them, but you aren't able to. It's like fake football shirts is probably the same thing, isn't it? You're allowed to own them, but you're not allowed to be the distributor or the seller.
Yeah, but I feel like there's loads of these like fake shirt shops popping up now that are legit, like I don't say legit, but like are just selling replica shirts and get away with it because it's like, replica. I'm like, it's fake though, fam. What are you talking about?
Well, there's a lot of controversy on TikTok at the minute. I won't say the brand, but there's a brand that are doing like, what do they call them? Like close copy or exact replica, kind of like for like or whatever they're called. Where it's like they're like 30 quid or something like that. So they're not super cheap, but they're made well, but they're not real. But there's certain content creators that are on there sponsored now by them that are big football content creators, Liverpool fans, I'll say, as far as I go. It won't take you long to find out who. And they're heavily promoting, obviously, distributor of like replica football shirts, which I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of danger in that, and the way they're doing it is like they're definitely not using the word fake. They're not really using the word replica, and it's just the way they're doing it is a little bit. You don't want a kid thinking, "Oh, well, this is a really heavily discounted real shirt," and then not get the real thing. And there is like, I completely understand where people come from. This is a weird tangent, nothing to do with sports cards, but I'll keep this quick. But I do completely understand where people come from in terms of buying really expensive football shirts. Like football shirts cost too much money. We all know that. I like what Luton did, where they kept the same football shirt for the second year. I thought that was really good, or for the following year. Yeah. Although I do like a new kit every year, but not everyone can afford it. That's the thing. So I understand why people like have the replicas are there, but you'd never catch me. Trust me, you'd never catch me doing a sponsorship deal with, a Mickey Mouse company selling replicas and things like that. Well, I mean, where are they? I bet there's probably. God, I wouldn't even look at where they're based, but I can tell you, I can imagine where they're based in terms of where the headquarters is registered. But you can't. Things like that is just. But yeah, it all goes back to me owning bootlegs. So who am I? I'm such a hypocrite. But yeah, they're a Nintendo album, so they're not. That's why they're bootleg. They're not. They were never officially made because Nintendo never produced them. But someone has produced the sort of Zelda soundtrack, the Super Mario Sunshine soundtrack, and the artwork is just. I sort of bought it for the artwork. It's beautiful. It's like a comic or a card or something like that. But it's like a giant card. It's like a giant card. I suppose a vinyl is like a giant card, isn't it? Really?
There we go. Yeah, I'm surprised Nintendo released it because obviously vinyls do well, and I said them sort of games which are sort of legendary. Who you cash in as much as you could if you could do a nice fold out booklet of it all and with pictures from the game.
And they have done with some older games like Super Monkey Ball and stuff. They did release a visual album which I was going to get as well, but I think it was like 55 quid. So I was like, probably wait till I get a record player. Let's wait until I've got something to play it on before I buy more vinyl.
Classic. Jesus, it's an expensive card. It's not a card.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll move on quickly. Yeah, what's the difference you see in this year then from a vending point of view? I don't know how many shows you've been to. It's just like general admission, but and also like changes you see in sort of people buying as well at shows. Like what have you noticed this year?
Yeah, it's probably a good question because it's very apparent of the last London Card Show that I came to, in that the difference to me was stark in terms of like me and Joe have a really good spot. We're very lucky with we have obviously a very good relationship with the London Car Show, having been to the London Car Show for quite a few years now, and Harry's always looked after us. So we had a very good spot at the front, which we thought was an excellent spot. Then there was some discussion about having sports guys as kind of an island, which we didn't quite fit into because me and Joe were being slightly awkward in that we needed to be together to help each other film content. And then Harry actually put us with El Toro as well, Jason. So, which was excellent because it's like all three of us are filming content, and we were just in front of the toilets, and I thought that was a really, really good spot for us. So, being in that spot was definitely a slight difference, but it was a combination of the spot, of the spot and flick throughs. I don't think have I ever done. There was one card show I did flick throughs, and they were not that great. Yeah, and I did all right. Yeah, I remember Jonas took out all the numbered before the card show actually even started. So, yeah, shout out to him. But the flick throughs in that good spot for me and Joe, with at the added big bonus of there being so many new people to the hobby at the latest London Card Show, wanting to buy for their collections, made it the most enjoyable card show I've ever been to by a billion times. Like, having people come up to your stand saying, right, here's a perfect example. After the first day, I went and bought a Panini Select Mega Box, and it did really, really badly. Like, I got the best card was like the Crystal Palace badge, which I think is like I'm pretty sure they're case here, the logos.
Yeah,
but they're like, it was like, I looked on eBay and it's like £10 or something. So like the best I got was £10 out of like I think it was £110 box or whatever. Anyway, the auto, which is guaranteed, was a Sheffield United auto. It was quite nice. It was like non-numbered red colour match, and it looked all right. Yeah. Stuart Norwood, is that a player? Norwood?
Norwood didn't go. Not Stuart.
Is it Norwood? That doesn't matter. Anyway,
I think
I can't remember. And it was an auto of a Sheffield United player. Anyway, I was like, oh gosh, I'm just going to struggle selling this. I put it in the case on the second day, and it went in the first couple of hours. And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Sheffield United fan. I'm just looking for Sheffield United cards. That was perfect. Nice. Like a tenner for an auto or whatever. I'll take that." And I was like, "Here's me going, I'm never going to sell Sheffield United auto." And then I've got someone in London, well, not London, Surrey, in the south of England saying, sorry, that wasn't a thing, right? I've got someone in the south of England saying, I'm a Sheffield United fan. And then I also had people that were coming up to me that were Aston Villa fans. I had a young lad that bought Buendia, who's a Buendia collector, bought a case at Genesis. I picked up the day before, just thinking, I'll just try and pick up some more Prem stuff. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be bringing and opening way more Prem in the future, because I feel like that's what people are looking for, collectors anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
And just being able to talk to people about collections and not investments was a real kind of breath of fresh air, I think. And if that's the way the hobby's going, okay, for the people that are high end, it might be a little bit more difficult to sell the higher end cards if that's the way the hobby's going. But if there's more people coming in, there's a chance that there's more high end people people with more money that are going to come in that you've previously never spoken to. So it might be a slight worry for people with high end, but I imagine if the hobby's being marketed to the masses and more people are coming in, then surely there'll be some more higher end collectors. And also the final thing, just to make a point of, is the sensibility of the new collectors was really good to see. People were sort of kind of coming up to me and explaining, well, I've just started a PC, but I don't want to spend too much money, and then decide that I'm going to change the PC, which, I mean, I've done. I'm sure many other people have done, where they've collected someone and then just decided they didn't want to collect them, or the player moved on and they moved on. And they were saying, I'm just going to start with some nice refractors and kind of build up some players and get an idea of how the hobby works and learn the sets and things like that. And that was so nice to hear. It wasn't that people were just because what you can worry about is people go in, they jump in with 2 feet, they spend way too much money, more money than they can afford, lose it all, which happens. It can be, with any market, it could be volatile.
Yep.
Anything can happen to players, to teams, to cards, anything. And then all the stories kind of come up. Right, I'm leaving the hobby. What a load of crap, and it's all negative stuff that doesn't help anyone out. And just having people that were sensible, were kind of explaining the way they were going to do things. Did they think that was a good idea? And asking lots of questions was really good. So I just came away from the London Card Show thinking, do you know what? Not that where has this been in 3 years, but almost, if you can't look at it like that, you have to kind of look at 3 years has taken us to here. Not everyone was kind of coming in with the same attitude 3 years ago when everyone came into the hobby with a boost.
Serious.
It was all about it was a bit boastful. It was like, oh, I've got so much money, I've got bigger cards than you. And now people are going like, this hobby's is new, but it's not that new. And we can ask more questions. People are more open, people are more friendly. People have a joke and a laugh about how much money they've lost in the hobby now. But you can pass that wealth of knowledge on to other people. And I think I just feel like the it has come a long way, but I do think it is really, really positive. I'm feeling really, really positive and happy about the way the hobby's going at the minute.
That's genuinely good. I mean, we've, let's face it, we've come out of shows together and we've said like, we don't know what's going on here with the hobby. Is it?
Yeah.
It was always on that like knife edge when it could go one way and it's like, oh no, it could go the way. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So it's good to see. Obviously, I've been at a lot less shows this year. I've been on the eBay ground. Actually, just remind me, I've got a pack of cards that sold tonight. Obviously, I found for me that's obviously the best way to make money in the hobby. If you're going to do it for investment purposes, you can have more eyes on eBay and this or the other, but obviously less fees than going to a show, especially if it's down south for me. But yeah, I think it's very good to hear the hobby that way. I think it's also not overlooking sort of the obvious, if it makes sense. Like if you're in England at an England card show, you know a lot of your audience are probably going to be interested in Premier League players. Yeah. So let's face it, if you're going to London, one of the biggest ones, you can get people that come down from Newcastle, Sheffield, Birmingham. So why not have a diverse portfolio of cards on show from all Premier League teams? Because you never know what collector's going to be there to go. Oh, I love collecting Villa cards. I love collecting Luton cards, for instance. So it's definitely it makes perfect sense that it's doing well at London. So I'm glad you had a good time. I said I'm gutted I couldn't have been there. Hopefully November.
I think if genuinely what you just said there, if I could give a label to my strategy, like for the London Card Show, it would literally be what you just said. Don't overstate or don't overestimate the obvious. It was like little things of like why I'd never done this before, where I'd run out of cards in the card case, and just before the end of the show, I'm like, Josh Grassroots Cards came up to me and said, "Oh, I've just got this few singles from this guy." He's like he had like 2015 select and things like that, and nice. He was like, "Just have a look through some of the singles." He's like, "This is what I got," and he had a really like, I think it was 2018 Russia winter camo of who's the Argentinian that played for, most recently played for Man United. I think he played for PSG. Cavani.
It's
like
Cavani.
It's numbered to 2018.
Uruguayan?
Yeah, Uruguayan. Yeah. Really nice card. And he picked it up for it was really cheap. And I was like, all right, let me have a look.
Yeah.
Ended up picking up like a big bundle of cards. And why I've never done this before, the next day, put them all back in the case. They all had pricing on. And I knew what I did is I worked out exactly how much I paid. And there's other ways to do this. I worked out exactly how much I paid for each card. And then if I sold a card over that number, I know I'm in profit.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to worry about eBay shipping fees. I didn't have to worry about eBay fees in terms of the percentages that they take off, 13% or whatever it is. The fact that you have to promote everything now on eBay, which is like maybe another 2%. So you're looking at like
never
15%.
Promote. I'm going to tell you that. Never promote, guys. Do not promote. I can tell you from experience.
I'm so bad at it.
Yeah, I can tell you from experience. Do not promote. It's pointless. if you've got the right cards, trust me, you don't need to promote. And it's all about the right cards, the right players, the right times, and knowing the right cards. So yeah, don't promote. Trust me, don't promote. Yeah,
I might unpromote on my Artel. I don't even know if you can do that.
yeah.
So yeah, put them all back in the case, and then let's say everything was like I'd paid $5 for everything. I'd sell a card at a tenner. I'm like, bang, easy. The next card can then go for a $5 or £6. You know, I'm not there to like. I'm not a business, so I'm not there to make like a crap load of money. I'm there really just for the banter and the hobby, and to, you know, sell a few cards, get a couple of £100 at the end of the day, and then blow that on a box or blow that on, like, you know,
food and drinks.
card is probably going to lose money. Yeah, take it down to the pub and buy a few pints with it, kind of thing. Like, you know, but that was just, I don't know why, I just never, like, I'd buy cards and then I would just put them back in the case on the second day. And then I'd be like, oh, I'd list those up on eBay, or I'd bring them to the next show. I'm just like, why didn't they go back in the case? And the fact they had the prices on made it even easier because I just left the prices on as well. So
serious. Don't work done for you.
It's just like you say, don't overestimate the obvious. I think is huge. And like, again, like just filming a couple of TikToks. Like, why have I never done that before?
Yeah,
I can't even answer that myself, mate. Like, it was just one of those. Like, it was, what am I doing, kind of thing. So yeah.
Again, it's always learning it. Like I said, yeah, you know, you win or you learn. And sometimes you think you're winning and realize after a bit, actually, I've lost this one, and why did I lose? Where did I go wrong? And you go, "Oh, you know what? How easy this is." I've been a victim of it. I've tried timing shows to sports and go, right, well, if the World Cup's on here, definitely take World Cup stuff, and it just doesn't do well. I think, geez, that's always sounding. NFL and NBA start at the end of the year, so take cards to that, and you do all right. You think, and then you look at tables across that have got soccer. I'm thinking, yeah, probably no matter what I do about timing here in UK, maybe it is just a smart option. Like, why am I overthinking it? Thinking, well, this is where the money's at because everyone wants a QB, everyone wants the hype, everyone, you know. Yes, it sells well on eBay for me, but at a show, you know, you cater to what's going to be there, and you know, you have to do things. It's so easy and simple. You just think, no, I thought I was big braining it for, you know, 4 million IQ here, going, well, I've got all this stuff because I did all the research. I've been watching these college quarterbacks. I've got them for, you know, for the autos before there's anyone else, and you put them out, and everyone's like. And they walk past and you go, come back. Look at my stuff. This is the stuff you should want. It's like, what am I doing? This is stuff you should want. What am I doing here? You know?
And I think everyone's kind of got their own strategies of what works for them. I know, like Lloyd, I'm thinking about Lloyd recently, he's gone half Pokemon, half sports. And I think he might even go full Pokemon. I'm a bit worried about that because we might lose another sports guy there, but maybe he won't. But he was saying that...
Who's this?
Lloyd. He's at...
Lloyd.
He's a lot of the shows. You'll probably recognise him. He's got a younger brother.
What's the Insta handle? I need an Insta handle.
Oh mate, I'm so bad with Insta handles. I'll send it to you afterwards. Maybe you can stick it up on screen.
Yeah, I can't remember. If I need an Insta handle.
I'm bad with names. It's good.
You got Lloyd, yeah. Okay.
Lloyd, yeah.
So you might be going down the Pokemon route. Oh, no.
But yeah, he's going into Pokemon. It was working really, really well for him, and he was just like, it's just more consistent. So, and I think me and Joe came away with the last London Card Show not having the best time in terms of sales. And rather than whinge or moan or go or blame the attendance or blame the customers, I mean, come on, you can't be doing that. You've got to look at yourself first. Look inwards.
Blaming show hosts. Like, it's London Card Show. So I'm not sold cards.
Just going to go that notification. Sorry, it's telling me William's gone to Olympiacos. Anyway, it's because I've got Fulham notifications on, even though he's not even at Fulham anymore. Go away. Like not William, just a notification. I like William for the record. Me and Joe kind of walked away, and we were like, what did we sell and what didn't we sell? And a lot of it is what didn't we sell. For Joe, I think was high end. Because he had like a £17,000 one of one. It was the first finest set for Star Wars, and he had the Skywalker one of one. Boba Fett one of one. Sorry, I think he has the Skywalker one of one as well. Absolutely insane. But I think he was like, I'm going to take. I think he might have still taken that as like a showpiece, but I think he was like, I'm going to take less of the high end, more of the kind of the low end. He did that. I think it worked really, really well for him. I took more of the singles and less of the slabs. So we both had different strategies, if that's fair to say. You might disagree. I think that's probably about right. But we both had different strategies, but we both walked away and spoke to each other about it and said, how could we have done better here? Is there anything that was selling over other things that we could take to the next London Card Show? And you have to kind of just try these things. And we both agreed as well that we're going to revise our cases. So rather than have the same thing out at every London Card Show, sell what we've got, send it off to Tradewee, consign it all, and just buy new inventory and then just put that out. And it honestly, mate, it was a game changer for us. Just doing those things, refreshing the case, and for me, singles, for him, slightly lower end, including singles. He'd done some stuff on PWCC that it's not stuff that's like listed up on eBay that people have seen for 3 years, and then you've decided to do a kind of a buy it now, and then people are kind of like that card's been floated around the UK market for so long. Joe was kind of focusing on autos of interesting players that you might not have seen of autos before, or case hits and things like that you might not have seen before. So strategizing is so important to have a good card show, I think. And I think we really did underestimate how many new collectors were going to be in the hobby and how many people were collecting for themselves and not buying to invest. But also, you've got to look at what are customers expecting from you, or what are people expecting from you?
Yeah.
I don't ever talk about, hey guys, I've just done here's a Mail Monday. I bought 9 kabooms. Some people will do that, and that's great, and people know them for that. Look at someone like Roth Cards. You're not going to go to Roth Cards table at Dallas, for example, and see a Wayne Rooney number to 49 Simplicidad, are you? Like, let's be honest. You're going to go to Roth Cards table, and you're going to see a Josh Allen rookie kaboom, and that's what you'd expect to see. So I think a lot of people are kind of like, what's the point in me having one high-end card out? Because no one's expected to see that from me. No one's probably even going to look at it. But I talk about a lot of the lower-end stuff. I talk about Fulham 2020 Prism. So I had some other 2020 Prism in there. I had Euro 2020 Select, which did really, really well for me. So, yeah, I look at someone like Martin Card Sales. I go over to Martin Card Sales stand, and I expect to be wowed. The pressure's on now, Martin, but I expect to see like a Messi auto in there, a Ronaldo auto in there, a couple of kabooms. What else? Maybe a National Landmarks in there, and a lot of Messi, a lot of Ronaldo, and he has that. And people will go over to Martin looking for that. So I think it's like, consistency. What do people expect from you? Where's your price point? And refresh your case.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. I'd also say, sort of like do what you say, like know your audience as well, man. Know your audience,
Yeah.
Like you sort of you get like a general vibe of who are sort of hosting shows, and who's their sort of audience. If you know that, let's just say for instance, you're going to host a show. If I know you're going to host a show, you're promoting to your sort of people that follow you. I know sort of they're expected to be pointless to me taking, like you said, NFL stuff, ice hockey stuff, because they're probably like, I've never seen any ice hockey and dance stuff, so totally looking for it. So it's like knowing what you're going to get. But again, I think you have to sort of, it's a bit like I always say about investing in sports. You think you have to be involved in the sports, like you have to watch the sports. I don't think you can look at the stat lines and go, okay, I've got to invest in Jared Bonus because he's having good weeks, looks like. You're not going to make your money that way. Like if you want to go to car shows and make money from it, you have to be in car shows and see and feel it and just see around it and just like take notes and think, okay, who's doing well? Where's the crowd at tables? What are they after? What's the buzz around? Are people buzzing because the new selects come out for soccer? So that's what everyone wants because it's the latest, greatest product and chasing the rookies. Or are people going back to sort of, really, I want, some 2017 stuff because it's like the first proper year sort of thing. So I think it's, you have to put the work in, unfortunately, and go to shows and feel for it, and be social as well. So ask people. Don't be afraid to ask, and find out. It's the biggest thing.
You'll save so much money, and you'll
enjoy
get so many better deals just out of experience, just purely out of asking questions and experience. Those two things alone will save you so much money in the long run. Will get you the best deals, the most deals in the long run. He's just kind of is talking to people, not being afraid to ask questions, and just be there, like be in it, live it. Don't that you can do it from home. Breathe it, yeah, breathe it in. But yeah, you know, it's yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
all that being said, when am I going to see you at the next London Car Show?
That's the thing. I say you can do it at home. Doing it at home is totally different. I will tell you straight. Doing it at home and doing it this way is totally different because yes, I'm saving money of obviously not paying for train tickets, hotel accommodation, food, and it's literally buy. Absolutely, majority of the time I'll buy grade to put added value to it, then sell on eBay because I'm sort of more catering to the American market because I'm on the QB chase sort of thing.
Yeah.
So lately, the last few days I've just been watching college football in America. I have to know the next QB for the next couple of years. Obviously, this year it's all about Shedeur Sanders. Obviously, his dad was in the NFL. If those don't know, he's probably going to be one of the first QB picks this year. Probably not be number one pick, but probably number 5 or 6, I'd say. He had a good game. The player on that team called Travis Hunter is a two-way player, plays wide receiver and cornerback. So he was just like nonstop. He made some dynamite plays. He'll be a high, number 2 or 3 pick. I was number 1 maybe. So it's about getting these cards. I mean, you sort of technically now you're sort of too late really because in some respects because his name's in the media because he's playing for new season. He does have Bowman autographs out already, which the more licensed stuff as opposed to like last year when it was like Leaf and stuff like that. So it's just a lot you put in the work that way, and again I'm still too fair. I'm still cashing on K Williams. I think I've got my last 3 now, and I'm still profiting on them because the hype of him going to NFL. So there's a lot of opportunities there, but it's totally different. For said like when you go to a card show, it's totally different. You have to sort of realize what environment you're going into. Like I wouldn't take these cards. I said I sold them Mahomes the other day, Mahomes rookie. And it's just whatever. I would take that to a card show in England. Probably, to be fair, I think there'd probably be an audience for that. Maybe not for the price I'd want, but there'd probably be an audience for it. But yeah, I think it is like know what you're going into and saying, right, okay, this is prime for this. Everyone's buzzing about the new Premier League Select or the new Premier League Prism. Let's make sure we've got this and older Prism, older Selects. People can go, oh yeah, actually, and cater to that sort of thing. But yeah, it's totally different at home. I'll say that. But you hope we see it show soon. Obviously, when my life. I'll say calms down. My life fixes itself out.
I was obviously just messing around with you. But you went to, what was the one you went to recently? Chester? No.
My local card fair. I'm pointing like local card fair. Oh, just right there. Yeah. Which again is
maybe I've got Chester because that's coming up recently. Is Chester near you, by the way?
Yeah. Not
that far. Okay.
Yeah,
no.
Obviously, you went story about Chester.
Oh god.
No,
I card show. I was going to say recently. Anyway, that was all.
Yeah, so I go to my local car fair. It's every 3 months. It's literally on my doorstep. It's funny enough. It used to be at my old school many years ago. So yeah, I always go today. Again, it's only 2 or 3 vendors, but again, it's hundreds of thousands of cards because obviously it's the old cigarette cards and the history behind it. I just love it for that, So yeah, I nipped down to that one. It was £2 in.
Scratch
a couple hours there. Yeah, so it was. It's just again, you build a sort of relationship with them people, and it's just nice to go through the stuff and see the history, and it's just really nice. It's really nice. But no, the funny story about Chester was when you say not being too far, it was a good couple of years back in my younger days. Me and a friend were cycling and said, we should go to Chester one day. Yeah, we'll cycle there, beautiful, and we cycled to Chester, and and just the legs just go, and we get there, and I've sat down for a coffee and something to eat, and I said, it's not happening. And I end up sitting for like good 3 or 4 hours in this coffee shop. I said, it's not happening. We've got to get on the train back. And I had to put mate, my legs were gone.
Did you cycle home in the end? How did you get
No, you're mad. You look at the seat. We had to get a train.
After 4 hours rest, you still couldn't get up.
It wasn't 4 hours of rest. This was 4 hours of necessity. It was 4 hours of me, like, if I move.
Recovery.
It wasn't even recovery. Yeah, it wasn't recovery. It was just a case of, like, saying, this is the position we're in now for foreseeable.
How did you get
It's like train. Like I said, I have to.
Train. Oh, sorry.
Take my bike up the road, put it on a train, and stand on a train like an idiot. And someone abused me. I got abused on the train as well. Someone said, what sort of idiot puts a bike on a train? And I was just like,
oh, mate, Jesus. Come down here. Loads of people do it.
Yeah, I was just like, Jesus, leave me alone. Look, there's like 3 or 4 stops there, but still, Yeah, so do you know what the funny thing is as well? That this is no word of lie. 2 or 3 days after that, I sold the bike.
Well, you
I
blamed
said,
it on
"You
the
know what?
bike rather than your legs.
Obviously, you've seen these legs. Jesus, they're like UFC Muay Thai kickboxer legs. They're beautiful legs, these are. I tell you. So yeah, I said this distance riding is not for me. I'm getting BMX. Got BMX instead. 2 days after that, lasted about 6 months. Came off it quite
Yeah,
bad. Hurt
I used to have
myself.
a jump bike. I think
Oh,
that's what they were called when they were younger.
oh yeah.
When I was younger, and not even that long ago. Like when I say younger, like
During COVID.
like 14, 15. So like
Okay.
it probably would have been year 8 to year 10. No, year 8 to year 11.
Okay. Yeah,
So not like young, not when I was like young, but still young.
Yeah.
A teenager. And yeah, I took the gears off it to make it lighter, and then there was like a local jump, like a BMX track and stuff. So it was like a mountain bike, but with no gears, a big frame, and then the seat was like lowered right down.
Probably. Yeah.
So it was like a kind of a light mountain bike, but also like a BMX mountain bike hybrid. But it was just so impractical. And then I'd have to, when I left school, I worked at a pub, and I had to cycle up a road, like a hill with no gears. It was locked in gear 3 or whatever it was. And yeah, it was just it was an absolute slug. And then you'd kind of just let it go down the hill, back down the hill. You just kick your feet forward and just chill. It was just the most. It went from like a fun jump bike to the most impractical bike you could ever own. Like I've seen better BMXs. But yeah, I didn't even have a bike. Well, it's still in the garage, but I mean, at the time, can guarantee the tires are flat. Still got 1 gear, so not much of a cyclist really.
I think you should bring it out for the next card show. Just rock up.
I could easily cycle to Isha. I don't know on that though, but on a road bike, yeah, definitely, but not on that. Well, you're right, really sweaty and like a complete mess. Still with on a road bike. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like I'm Michael Phelps. Is that Michael Phelps? Like I'm
you're swimming now, yeah.
Armstrong or something. Yeah, exactly. Well, there's the Thames. I could probably get so far.
Yeah.
Do a triathlon from that.
That's a good point.
Triathlon to Isha card show. That'd be good.
Jesus, what's a card con?
That'd be
card con's a bit closer for you. Make it easier for you.
Well, Isha's definitely closer. Isha's like a 15-minute drive. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I knew you're like pretty close to both. Yeah.
Maybe that might be a bit ambitious, but it's not far.
I just thought you're like pretty much stuck between
my local card show is technically it's the biggest card show in Europe.
Not bad, though, is it?
I'm a lucky man, aren't I? Really
serious. You need to sit yourself down to the national card fair, in Salisbury. Salisbury, is that right?
Yeah.
Salisbury, is that how you pronounce it?
I've got a mate's girlfriend's from there. It's not too far.
Spelled Salisbury, though, right? SAIL.
Yeah, but it's always been Salisbury, I think.
You Southerners, man, always messing things up, man.
I know. It's like Southwark. It's like, how do you spell Southwark? Southwark or something.
Jesus. Yeah. Also, is it Esher? Is it Esher? Isha? Or is it Esher or Isha?
Isha.
Yeah. That place. I heard people say Esher before. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it's just Americans.
Isha, Esher.
Oh, Northerners. Yeah, Isha. It's definitely Isha.
Isha. Yeah. Okay. Back to card stuff. Well, I say card stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, don't be sorry.
My headphones might die any second because they're popping up, but if they do, I'll probably just go a bit quiet and then I'll just use the normal audio if that's right.
Yeah. What products are you looking forward to this year?
Ooh.
Or what we'll see, because we have quite a few products out there. What products sort of like?
I was excited to see Dynasty, not as a buyer, but I just wanted to see what it looked like.
Did that over exceed or just succeed or just like underwhelm?
Properly rated, whatever that it was. It was about. Yeah, it was all right. I was a little bit disappointed to see Mukoku in the checklist. I won't lie. Mukoku and Mason Mount in the checklist of £1,000 cards.
Yes.
Maybe like
in Mukoku. But then Mukoku now is it Lille? Is he on Lille, Lukaku?
I don't know. I don't know. Like his market's just died a death since that age
Yeah,
question that was looming around. But I actually don't know. I didn't follow.
I think
If he has
I
made a
think he
move, I
went.
didn't follow it.
Yeah, I think he did.
I
He
hope he
went to
did
Lille,
because I hope
Monaco, and
I want
Marseille.
to see him get game time. He was an absolute baller. So there still could be, a future for him. But yeah, it was like Mason Mount was in a Chelsea shirt as well. Like
Serious.
I don't know how many Chelsea fans are. Maybe Chelsea fans, you can let me know. But I don't know how many Chelsea fans are still buying Mason Mount in a
Zero.
Chelsea shirt now. He's at United and he's sort of flopped there. He's always injured. I don't think he's a bad player. He's just always injured. I was quite surprised by the fact that there was also multiple 1-of-1s. Still don't really know how I feel about that. I'm not sure if that's. They are 1-of-1s, and they're obviously different patches and they're different kits and different photos. So yeah, I get it, but that's so new to the hobby almost because we were aware of multiple 1-of-1s, but not from the same product. If that makes sense.
Course.
And if it's multiple 1-of-1s, then it's a base 1-of-1, auto 1-of-1, patch 1-of-1, patch auto 1-of-1. But again, like Museum, there was like 4 1-of-1s of the same player, like Yamal that came out. That it was. I don't know how I'm adjusting to that. Whether I prefer just being a 1-of-1 or I actually don't think I mind it so much. It just depends on where the market puts what. Does the market prefer a superfractor base or do they prefer superfractor also? I don't know. I need to maybe delve a bit deeper into research on that. But I'm not an immaculate buyer. I know that's still to come.
Yeah.
So I probably won't go for that just because expenses is probably a little bit above my price range, if I'm totally honest. I love the fact Topps Marvel came out. I didn't get any Topps Chrome Marvel.
Yeah,
that's gonna be huge, I think.
What do you think of the autograph though?
I don't get it.
Yeah, like Disney stuff.
Yeah, I didn't get the Disney autos as well. I'm not. So if someone can explain that to me, please do. But I don't. I personally, I don't get it. I don't.
Sheggery. It's a Sheggery. It's what it is.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Like, who's decided what the auto is? Like, it just doesn't. I don't think you needed it personally.
Insert Joey Swole. Do better.
Yeah, I just did it was fine without them. I don't really see like the need for them to be in there. But if someone, I'm sure there's a reason why they did it, and then they can explain to me this is why they did it, and then it would all make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. Can you still hear me? Okay. By the way, sorry.
Yeah.
You are only coming out of one ear for now, so I feel like
okay.
These are going.
These are going probably. Is there any potential stars to look out for in like that you're looking out for that you could recommend people to look as well? Because obviously, I always say you got to be in the hobby. So yeah.
Well, these are the ones that I'm looking at, but obviously no one else can look at these as well because otherwise you'll drive up all the prices and then I'll be paying too much. No, I'm joking. Kochku is someone that I've been going on about for ages. Orkan Kochku is someone I really like.
Okay. You mentioned a few times.
Yeah, Arnie Slot was managing him when he was at Feyenoord. He was captain of Feyenoord. He was number 10. His rookie is in last year's Topps Chrome, so it's Topps Chrome UCC 22-23. He's got Sapphire rookies as well in the Feyenoord kit. And then he got signed to Benfica for, I think, 20 million or something like that, and hasn't been getting the game time that he wants. They've got a few good forwards now, Benfica, I think. So he hasn't really been getting the game time that he does want. So he hasn't really been able to shine too much. He was good for Turkey in the Euros, if anyone watched him in the Euros. Didn't set the world alight because the majority of the highlight kind of went on Yildiz, is it Yilmaz and Arda Güler? So, yeah, but I still do really, really like him. The only thing that I don't like is his 120 million euro release clause. Imagine buying someone for 20 million and then putting a release clause of 120. Yes. I know, like, he could, you've got a decent bargain, but flipping out. So Slot wanted him for the summer transfer window, Liverpool were never paying 120 million for a midfielder when they've already got McAllister, Gravenberch. They've just bought a load. Curtis Jones. They've got a good midfield anyway, and they were unbelievable against Man United.
Serious.
So yeah, I mean, I like him. Who else do I like? I like Muniz, obviously, because I'm a Fulham fan. I'll be keeping an eye on Jay Stansfield for when he gets cards. He might.
Gone to Birmingham now.
Yeah, but they might put him in. I don't know. Actually, they won't put him in the Fulham checklist. I wonder if they do put him in the Fulham checklist and give him a rookie card, just because Tops and Panini might be a bit clever with that. But yeah, gone to Birmingham, broke the record, transfer fee record. So I was upset about him going, but I was really happy with the money that we got for him. And he obviously likes Birmingham. Birmingham fans like him, so fair play to him. And other than that, other rookies, the new because there's no point in me saying it because I'm not going to remember his name. Dean, the new centre back that Bournemouth have just signed from Roma.
Oh Jesus!
Dean isn't he like it's not Hoyland, but it's something similar.
Yeah.
I want to see how his cards do in FIFA. Not FIFA Select, the Serie A Select. He's got a rookie in that from the most recent set. I'll find it quickly. It won't take me long. He's a centre back.
Hoysen. Yeah, how you pronounce that, God knows.
I just keep hearing loads of people say that he's going to be one of the next best centre backs. I don't know if you've watched his highlights, but he's like 6'5", and his passing and shooting ability is that of like a number 10, and he's a centre back. Like, it's weird. Like, he scores insane goals, gets crazy assists, and he's a centre back. So I think he'll just be like a really exciting player to watch. So to like hold someone's rookie cards and then kind of watch them. Just got signed at Bournemouth, so probably see a bit more of him. So a bit like, how people went mad over Calafiori, even though like he's a centre back. His cards were doing crazy numbers when he signed for Arsenal. So you never know. You could pick him up you could pick up a Roma rookie card, and then he could move from Bournemouth to maybe a top 6 side. Who knows? Those probably are the football players, and then I've been focusing a lot on Harry Potter at the minute. I'm just going mental on Harry Potter. I've just been buying a lot for collections, really. So Harry Potter, I've kind of just been focusing on, especially the art box stuff, because it was a Japanese manufacturer of cards, and then the company doesn't exist anymore, so you'll never see the same cards ever made. And all of the cards were on card. There was no sticker autos. All of the patches were, or not all of them. Well, all of the patches are official clothes. They're not like they're not like relics or whatever.
From no
of them were like
game or event.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like movie worn, and if you get obviously ones that are worn by like Harry or Ron or Hermione, the pictures are it's like a picture of them wearing the material that you're owning in the card. So I picked up a Hermione one recently, which annoyingly is Hermione's more expensive than Harry Potter. Doesn't make any sense. Well, it does make sense. I'm not going to tell you the reason why. I'm sure you can, listeners at home can guess. But yeah, there was like one I got off Hermione was like of a flannel shirt. It was like a purple flannel shirt, and it was so clearly obvious with the picture that you could see her sitting by the fire in the Gryffindor common room with this shirt on, and then you had the material and it said worn by Hermione in Deathly Hallows Part 1. So I bought 3
you've gone off there now.
Yeah. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, you can hear clear.
Okay, yeah. So I bought there were 3 from the Deathly Hallows Part 1, and they're all got there's like a star cut, and then it's a Ron, Hermione, and a Harry, all 3 separate. Harry was a PSA, which I got from Card Hobby, and then the other 2 were raw, and I'll send them to PSA. Yeah, this is what they look like. There's a
for the viewers that are watching.
Oh yeah, for the viewers rather than the people at home. This Warwick Davis on card.
Oops. Yeah, look at that there.
From Goblet of Fire.
Nice little red.
I picked up this. This actually came today as well. Again, this is going to be inverted, but this is a Richard Harris PSA auto.
Look at that.
Who was obviously a very famous Irish actor. That's him as King Arthur, which he bought the rights for and made him extremely rich. Didn't know that. Bought the rights for the play, I think, and then it made him super rich. But he was the first Dumbledore in Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets until it changed to Michael Gambon. But he doesn't have he's one of the few people that have been in a big character that's been in Harry Potter that's not part of the art box, because obviously he passed.
Oh yeah, serious.
But Gambon does have one, but they're super expensive. They're like, I mean, to give you an idea, the one sold on Golden this year, like a couple of months ago. There's one from, I think it's Goblet of Fire, so it's Harry, Ron, Hermione, triple auto, and it's sold for $45,000. Highest sell, I think, is of $50K. So yeah, market's there, and I think with the new series, this stuff's going to be really hard to get, I think, and it's not in print anymore. The patches and stuff are numbered to like 400, so they're not like super rare, but the people that are buying these are not selling
keeping them.
Like they're keeping them, and there's people that you trying to find one of these boxes as well. You won't see people breaking the boxes. They're all broken. Like there's literally you cannot buy boxes unless you go on somewhere like Golden, PWCC, maybe StockX might have them, but you'd be paying thousands. It's not like the TCG. Like the TCG now, you can still buy boxes, Wizards of the Coast and things like that. But these art boxes, like they've all been ripped, and they've been ripped by people that are just collectors that have been able to afford it, that were buying them 5 years for like $1,000, $2,000, and now they're 5 to 10 or just impossible to find. So yeah, you can pick them up. You can pick stuff up like still reasonable. Like there's a Neville Longbottom sold by a UK seller for like 80 quid on eBay. So they're not extortionate, but I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd. So like if they all go to zero and I have an on-card or Warwick Davis, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna care. Like, I love the films. I love the series. So huge franchises, I think, is a really good play. Outside of sports cards, if you can get into a franchise early, do it. And I think Topps Chrome Marvel, though I'm not a big Marvel guy, so I'm not gonna do it. I've never really been a kind of a superhero guy. I'm more kind of video game Nintendo coded and Harry Potter coded. That I can't add another thing into. Like not with the way I get obsessed with things. Honestly, I can't afford to be adding more things in there. So. Maybe felt a little bit distant from. I've kept myself distant from superheroes and things like that, and I wasn't too much of a comic guy. So, but for those that are, obviously, Topps Chrome Marvel has got to be one of the biggest news, like in the hobby in terms of like that kind of franchise. If Topps Chrome ever had the next thing might be Rittenhouse for Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because Rittenhouse obviously do the HBO stuff. So if the new Harry Potter, if they get the rights for the Harry Potter series, then we'll probably see Rittenhouse. I mean, Fanatics could go after Rittenhouse. That might be the next purchase. Here's the question for you: if you were Fanatics, what's the next company you'd buy?
You don't listen to my podcasts. I talked about this
Leaf
numerous times. Do you know what? Leaf, yes, before.
I'm sure I've heard you say Leaf before.
Okay, so you did. Yeah, okay. See that. So that's how you test your friends.
Leaf aside. Leaf aside.
To be fair, what I will say is Leaf have obviously declined a little bit since the main man left. But I just think the way they went around stuff, like they got autos done, man. There was never, you know what I mean? Like they were getting these rookie autos of CJ Stroud 2 years ago, man. People are hunting him stuff down now. So I'll just like the way they do business, man. And I feel some of their cards look beautiful as well. Like look at some of their cards, they're beautiful. But no, if I was in charge of Fanatics, because I'm in the hobby and I've got a passion for the hobby, I would be doing everything to get Panini done. I would be getting everything to make sure that collectors and investors have the right to have their star players in every product possible. Whether it be Bowman Chrome, Prism, fucking Optic, where it may be.
Can you see it happening?
Probably in like 5 years. Yeah, 5 years time, Panini will struggle that much that they'll go, let's just cash in.
Do you think though, because they have the stickers? I would don't get me wrong. Like I would actually love to see it. I know people go like Monopoly. I feel like that's kind of almost. It feels like it has to go that way, or these card companies have to be working together. Otherwise, it's just the collector suffers. And with all these player licenses and things, and like we saw with the Topps Euros, the Euros album, like not having Mbappe in there and having Luke Thomas as a left back who's got no England caps. Like it's like things like that. Like there has to be. We can't have that for forever, or we can, but it's just not. It's not going to be exciting, and we're just going to reminisce all the time. So there'll be ways around it, and it's all very new. But we've had Topps albums before. We've had Merlin albums for one of the Euros. I think it was it Euro '98 or one of those ones was Merlin.
No, not '98. It was World Cup '98.
World Cup '98.
Yeah, well, it wasn't.
Merlin had one for 1 year, didn't they? But so we've seen it before. But I
think maybe Panini will like license it out, same way that Leaf do with Auto. So obviously they had Haaland and then they'd leased him out. It's Auto. So maybe that's what they'll do with Prism, and so maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll just get like a Prism and Select in a few years, and that's what the Fanatics will want. And they'll go, do we want to get anything else from Panini? We'll just maybe rent the rights out to that. Yeah, but I think it just hampers the hobby so much. Not having, as I said, this year you got these premium boxes coming out for all these rookies that people want to chase, whether Wembanyama in basketball or CJ Stroud in NFL, and it's like, yeah, it's unlicensed stuff for the autos, or you can get the licensed stuff from Panini, but you're not getting auto. It's like, why? So
I think, especially from the UK as well, like we don't notice Panini as much as like Panini. We don't have Panini America, so we don't. I think sometimes when we speak to the US guys, we don't look at Panini as like, we know they do Prism and we know they do like all of these big brands, but they're never sold in the UK. So we've never grown up with them, or we've never like known what these cards were before 2019. Obviously, people that were in the hobby knew, but we've never had access to them. Panini still really you can't just buy a box of Panini Prism directly from the website. As far as I know, you can't go on UK Panini, and so I feel like if they
randomly you go on Panini UK and it's like random products. Yeah, it's like random products. And obviously, score as well. I suppose so it's like in stores, wasn't it? Like I remember Score being in stores.
Yeah, score was, and they also put UFC stuff on the UFC website. And which is UK.
It was always like random stuff, but never like a consistent like you can get it all year round sort of stuff. Like because
I always think, oh well, if Panini get rid of all the Prism stuff, they'll still survive with all the sticker stuff. But then I'm saying that from someone that's a UK, like I live in the UK and I've always have done, and I've always collected in the UK. So I know Panini is huge with any stickers, whether it's Frozen, they'll do a Frozen album or whatever, and the kids go mental for it. And like they have all the Premier League sticker albums and all these sorts of things.
And they just signed up darts as well. Premier League darts.
They just got darts. Yeah, they got the PDC, or I think it was the PDC.
That's how they'll survive now. That's the only way they can survive. But it's just a wonder if that's gonna be enough to make it. So I think they'll do do a cricket.
I'm surprised they got that.
Yeah, well, I think that. Well, I'm wondering if it's like sticker only. If they've only got the rights to stickers, not cards. It's interesting what do you do.
I think there was a trailer that said that they were going to have autos and memorabilia of sorts.
Okay.
They're going to have like flights and stuff.
Yeah. Well, so we know that Luke. I don't know if Luke Littler is a Topps exclusive though. So that seems to be the war Fanatics doing, aren't they? Like getting athletes.
I don't think so, because I think they used him in the promotion, didn't they? They used him in the video.
Oh yeah, I meant more for autos. I don't know if we've seen an auto.
Maybe,
where he's got the Luke Littler box right with top. So I wonder if they've got him as an exclusive. We've now seen him. Fanatics have also taken Anthony Richardson, which was the only quarterback signed Panini last year for the rookies off, is now a Fanatics exclusive as well. So he's on. So it's kind of like that war's changed, hasn't it, from like to that sort of to the athletes. We've seen it with Caitlin Clark, the basketball phenomenon. now it's Panini exclusive. You know, it's like, wow, this is the real war now. The real war. What time? Mate, I feel like I've had. By the way, people don't know this. I've had Dan on this podcast nearly 3 hours now because we were chatting for an hour and a half.
8 p.m. we started this.
2 hours,
and 40 minutes.
I know. So maybe we'll do a part 2 soon. And
definitely.
I know. I just feel so bad. He's got work in the morning. It's pretty much 11 o'clock. I feel so bad.
My headphones died. There you go. They were 100%.
Exactly. They were 200%. They were supercharged up. So it feels like an abrupt ending, but we could honestly talk forever. As you can see, we're genuine friends from this hobby, and this is what this hobby can do to people. You know, you can make genuine friends. And you said sometimes you talk for 3 hours, and I love his insight. We connect very well, and hope you guys took something from it. I always say this, but make sure if you're not, which I know everyone is already, you're following Dan not only on Instagram, not only on YouTube, on TikTok, because you'll get daily content, short form, and you know what it is? It's not daft content. It's content that's going to help you progress in this hobby. I guarantee that it's informational stuff. So make sure you're following Sports Cards UK on those platforms. Anything you want to say before we go, Dan?
No, I think you've shouted me out very well. Thank you very much for that. Trying to do some more TikTok lives, which I think I mentioned at the beginning. So yeah, definitely chuck me a follow on TikTok and ask me lots of questions and stuff, because it's really good to make videos. The majority of my videos are answering questions, so I'm really enjoying that side of it at the minute. Watch this space, and thank you for having me on. Always a pleasure, never a chore, mate. And hopefully I'll come on again soon. Yeah, I'm more than give me a call whenever, mate. I'm always happy to come on. Always enjoy our chats, and hopefully I'll see you. Well, I want to get to a few more card shops, so hopefully, I don't know, did we discuss that before or after? I think we discussed that before.
Yeah,
we were mentioning that there was lots of shops in the UK, and so I want to get to all of them. So I think me and Patrick will be doing some more
car shop tour. Yeah, car shop tour. Lads on car shop tour. You did it first.
Yeah, UK tour. That'd be good.
Yeah, and then we do a European one, right? Is it Budapest? We've got one. There's a couple in Germany, the B Brothers and stuff like that.
Poland had one this year.
A car shop, yeah.
Yeah, no, a show. Oh, sorry, a shop.
No,
a shop.
Yeah, so we do UK shops. You do UK shops.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Shops. Do that. Oh,
Budapest. Yeah, because the B Brother one was kind of cool with the memorabilia and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I do. That's a bucket list to go. So that looks pretty good.
Yeah, so there we go. So well, again, I appreciate everyone for listening this far. We're an hour and 20 minutes in this podcast. We were chatting for hours fun. There will definitely be a part. This will be part 3 because I've already done before. So we'll definitely do more with Dan because it's the legend in the hobby. To be honest, I always say it. I give him his flowers while he's still here. The guy is the goat. You're the goat of sports cards in the UK for me.
That's very nice of you to say. I couldn't accept it, but it's very nice of you to say, mate.
I'll get you an award, don't worry. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening this far. Again, take care and see you guys soon. Peace.